Welcome to my lovely IHP community and the 5D Collective. We have a late IHP show with your very own 5D Mystic. We are continuing from our previous episode where we talked about how most pain has no gain and smart people know. As we were closing out, I said we'll talk a little bit about that, which was a sentence, as long as it takes, you are my person. Empowered masculine, empowered feminine, empowered people. Okay, so I'll read Two Lovers Who Dance to the Beat of True Love. That is very much inspired by what true love is, which is securely attached, non-traumatized individuals who are able to be their own mindfully aware and accountable and regulating person. And so their past doesn't live through them, and they're not carrying a little story in their pocket, okay? And if anything, catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. And then you allow yourself to share it and you don't let it fade away. Okay, so our dance to love began like a slow merengue. You know it, I read this to you, each to the beat of our own sway. Over time, we moved to an intriguing bachata, and so it began the dance of two lovers who didn't know it to be so, and so on and so forth. So lovers can come in from the opposite ends, and then they meet in the middle, and like dancers do, they will expand each other, because when you're actually swinging and swaying to the rhythm of each other, you enrich each other, and that's from mind, heart, body, self, and soul. Okay, so no matter if it's an oversoul with soulmates, twin flames, or any of those words that you've heard, divine counterparts, as a 5D mystic, what I can tell you is it's nice to be here to tell you all. The oversoul is your own relationship. You will know, if you're an empowered feminine, who all of me, who all of those who are your connected souls will be. Okay? And because you found your own rhythm and rhyme, you've made your way to the beat of your very own cha-cha-cha, you will also have a cha-cha-cha with another. So securely attached, non-traumatized people have healthy self-worth. They know self-regulation in their ventral vagal state. They are self-aware in their prefrontal cortex. That means they're accountable when their projection comes up. And they don't ruminate. If they're still ruminating, then they're not actually aware, and they're not functional child adults. So now we have those who don't know. Mastering the dance of life is a party with people who live, love, laugh, and don't cast stones. So we don't have a person who's mastered the dance of life. No, because it is a party of love with the right people, creating masterpieces of love and content together here at IHP. I know I do, with the Mystic Spiritual Self-Help Mindful Living and Loving mentor, bringing you the woo-woo, pseudoscience, stories, perspectives, point of views, and topics that interest self-empowered, enlightening 5D mystics, and again, functional child adult people. So healthy self-worth. Human beings who have healed trauma, all of them will be some of those who are mystics and not, and spiritual and not. We don't pick at people because we do our ventral energy dance. Cha-cha-cha. Okay, so we found our own rhythm and rhyme, and we made our way to the beat of our very own cha-cha-cha, and without planning anything, we found ourselves dancing to our own sweet and spicy salsa and tango all in one. All along, our dance was that of true lovers at heart, mind, body, self, and soul. Made of honesty, integrity, authenticity, vulnerability, and the willingness to take a leap of faith and let each other in the life of the other, to dance together the dance of life. Again, when you're mastering the dance of life, it is a party of yin-yang balance and the infinity of consciousness expanding. It is also with a diverse collective who can collaborate with intelligence. That's intellectual, emotional, and physical. Emotional is important, otherwise they're not intelligence. Mastering the dance of life is a party of masculine and feminine. The left words with my right go down to my body, notice you, and my feminine, my emotions, to my masculine. And so I know my window welcome to affect, emotions, senses, images, all of it, and we talk it out inside. And that's why we are creating in unison, not separately. And mastering the dance of life is a party of love that takes flight with the truth of, again, a functional inner child adult. The eternal child is within you and not needing reparented. We have a love and fear frequency that come together to create beyond the basics, because fear will consistently be with us. So will anger, so will disgust, happiness, surprise, and sadness. I think I got all 6 of them, and then expands to more. But we have the mindfulness practices because we have the mind-side skills, because you sift sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. So again, Dr. Daniel Siegel and more than just that name have taught me a lot, and I continue with my attachment trauma educational courses because they will continue to tell me a lot of important information. A journey full of unknowns, uncertainties, and continuous leaps of faith to build something alone and together to leave behind for future generations to come in a way that adds value for as many people as possible, the planet and all of life. And so our dance to love began like a slow merengue, each to the beat of our own drums, love and sway, and now it's a beautiful, sweet and spicy salsa, tango, cha-cha-cha, and more, which maybe one day we'll get to also dance together for real, because they're beautiful dances. I love ballroom dancing as dance partners in addition to life partners who dance to the beat of true love as two lovers at heart, mind, body, self, and soul brought together by the rhythm and rhyme of life's unknowns. And with that, when you're mastering the dance of life, it is a party of love, and again, taking flight to the skies with the truth of your inner eternal child. That is your guide and makes you the artist of your own garden with thoughts that come up in the silence of the skies, with the moon and your emotions that are explored by you, the astronaut of the emotions and thoughts that are yours, who also, as you overflow in the alchemy of victory, expand continuously, consciously as the creator, you're also the vector and manifester of your life as you, your true self, heart, body, self, mind, and soul, with your embodied brain in a restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating body in the ventral vagal state. Okay, so as long as it takes, you are my person. When 4D is busy with these stories, what I've noticed is they're not busy in their inner growth, because they don't even do spiritual growth, because they continue to say that they have lost people. And so you'll notice that they have a story for you of them having lost people, and that's because they're now a special group. And so with that being said, there is no pain, there's no real gain from this story of pain and tragedy with relationships. Those who suffer life in general suffer also relationships for unfinished business. And what we want to also know is that I was reading you a sentence from another person, but first we're going to do Sadhguru. Stress is not a consequence of a particular situation. It is a consequence of your inability to manage your own system. When you're using good stress, it's because you will be anchored in your ventral vagal state. And so even I will have sometimes used words, and I do when I'm creating sentences that will say, like one of them was, we won't have fear anymore. And then I went to fix that one because I'm like, no, Maria, you're always going to have fear, because fear is a part of that, which is if there's a bear. But when you're creating resiliency in the restorative embodiment, you'll notice the difference from when you were an immature nervous system and to when you're instead a mature nervous system. That's why the physical mastery as an Akashic record reader. Okay, so mental, emotional, physical plane mastery. I'm at the physical level now, and I knew every step of the way when I was moving into the physical mastery. Okay, so here's where that other quote, Rick Hansen, PhD, most pain has no gain. In other words, it wears down the immune system. That's because of distress, disrupts the gastrointestinal system, impacts the nervous system, and leads to depression. So when you are navigating a biochemistry of fear, those are the people who say pain is how we gain, and they will disregard actually noticing the explanations, because when you explain it to those who are at least honest with themselves, so besides relationships, romantic, you can't really grow a romantic relationship if you're not a healthy self-worth man, woman, or they, with a healthy self-worth man, woman, or they. You can grow a relationship if there are those who have unfinished business with people like that, because they won't really be anywhere, because you'll navigate their same frequencies. How I'm going to put it, I don't know about it, because I don't have unhealthy self-worth people in my life in a way of me silencing myself. I will speak my mind, I will speak my emotions, I'll speak it all, and I won't crap on Maria. Also, my body tells me when I'm expanding, and then my body tells me when I'm Maria and I'm in the presence of another body. And so here's what I can tell you about what the lovely, lovely true dance of love is. It's been consistently shared with me from smart human beings, right? Till death do part, sickness and in health, richer and poorer. It's pretty straightforward. But what I can tell you today with attachment trauma education is that I will let you know that there's no relationship that can actively die and become if you're a person who's expanding who you are, because you will not be picking to be with those who are of an interest. So again, smart people know most pain has no gain, and the pain that does have a gain is a very specific type to keep you physically safe. If you have emotional, mental pain, then that means you want a Zen master if you want to stay in laundry, your little hissy fit. If you're actively a person who's smart, you will head on over to Pat Ogden, Tara Real, Patrick Tian, somebody so you can love yourself first, get out of unhealthy self-soothing mechanisms and storytelling, because that 2-year-old of yours has stories for you, and you'll get out at some point, shape, or form of those attachment wounds. If, on the other hand, you would rather skate on by and not move into resiliency with restorative embodiment, you'll say, I want life now. And there you go. And others will continue to have that plus whatever else they have not chosen to go and look at because it's just that scary. No, it's just that painful, but they sure as hell like to say, with pain I gain. And really, I think, wow, I'm so happy I don't have to watch as this takes place, because I do hold every single person responsible for their own nervous system. While Patrick Tiahan only holds parents responsible, I hold every human being responsible, which is why God keeps telling me, Maria, I told you, stop judging human suffering. And I say, yes, God, I am trying, because I don't hang out with any of it. But, every now and then I want to share my thoughts on how it's a waste of my fucking time. Because, there's a bounty full of 3D40 with their masculines out there being, pain is gain, and I'm going to go, and they're all in their sympathetic. So, I'm sorry. Fine. I'll go hang out with the fun ones of us. So, yes, you don't walk a walk. Don't talk a talk. You don't know anything, Cusco. But Pacha knows everything. And that's why we don't do... let me date you. We will do, okay, this is not okay. And then when we meet, wow, that keeps getting better and better by the minute. It's actually pretty fun, I have to say. So when you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. All that you will wish will come true. That is very true. And we love and live and laugh and don't cast stones. Some of us are of spirit and some are of science. These are healthy self-worth men, women, and days who know how to be anchored in their ventral vagal state. It is you tapped into your infinite higher human conscious potential experience. Join us here at IHP. Again, this is a late IHP show for 5D Mystic Maria right here. Self-help mindfulness. I chose to add some words to our late IHP show. That way you can be better prepared. And I don't have to keep introducing what I do, mentor, content creator, podcast host. But again, smart people know that most pain has no gain. Whenever we have any physical pain, we go and take care of it without being over exaggerated. I have been a hypochondriac, but really it's that I have this thing called introception. So I perceive pretty much anytime stuff is moving around. We'll get back to those stories at some point. What I can tell you about the empowered masculine feminine duo is it's amazing. Because an empowered feminine will always know what an empowered masculine is. And that's why we'll know how to learn from the ones who are not empowered. An empowered masculine will also know what an empowered feminine is, which is why they will be happy to have us as much as we're going to be happy to have them. And that's because we love, respect, and accept each other just the way we are. And that's with our flaws and imperfections and integrity. And so with that being said, my lovely 5D mystics, spiritual and mindfully living, loving, functional child adults, have a wonderful evening, and we'll be back with more soon again.